Those of you who don't know me, apart from the day job, I dabble in writing science fiction stories and occasionally poetry, but I've never tried combining the two until now. Now, for some of you, that's probably your worst nightmare, this concept of science fiction poetry, but I did promise Hugh, if you remember the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, there won't be any Vogon poetry. Aww. It's called A One-Horse Town. Tombstone 2 was a mining town on the wild frontiers of space, where whiskey and Martian moonshine were consumed by the case. At first, it had a brothel, a casino, and 3 bars. But then came the settlers and the prospectors' last hurrahs. Boomtown turned respectable. Mob rule got the elbow. Lewd behaviour was deemed unacceptable, as was vulgar innuendo. Homesteads were built on the edge of town, as more staked a claim. Airtight, sprawled suburbia under the endless sulphuric rain. One solitary form of transport they called their hoverbus horse. It took the ladies shopping, the kids to school, and ferried their growing workforce. Then came a treaty with the neighbours on the nearby planet of Grok. Their arrival did no favours to the short-lived belly pock. Hushed whispers and disapproving glances from all who passed by. The tentacles they could live with, but my God, all those eyes! The grunts and whistles and slurring whenever they tried to speak set intolerance and xenophobia stirring, compounded by their horrid physique. They were banned from eating in public. It made their fellow diners feel sick. With their sights, the smells and noises, their dietary habits were amoebic. One morning, Mrs. Jackson got a call from Horse's early driver. The only hoverbus had broken down and the mechanic couldn't revive her. Now, little Timmy was a good lad, and really not a skiver, but a day off got the thumbs down, and she dressed him like a deep-sea diver. A packed lunch in his satchel, filled with electronic books, with attendance at school contractual, he gave her a dirty look. She licked her hanky and rubbed at a smudge on the side of his nose, then pulled on his acid-proof outfit, lest he should decompose. She strapped on the oxygen tank and checked the gas with a hiss. Pausing with a fishbowl helmet, she gave him a goodbye kiss. With his head in a dome and his heart in his mouth, Timmy turned to leave. The airlock groaned and opened, and he turned in hope of reprieve. But his mother waved goodbye through the window by the top deck, and the boys set off for school on the second furthest trek. He was halfway there when disaster struck, and he slipped on his metal-clad foot. Landing on his back, he ran out of luck as his air supply went kaput. The rain fell hard and unrelenting. The severed hose flailed about. With precious oxygen venting, the little boy wheezed and passed out. The choir warmed up for the angels' songs as they weighed up the cost. Timmy's life flashed its rights and wrongs, and it seemed that all was lost. Kachukran had the furthest to walk. Trotting in 6 thick rubber waders, he was fed up with behind-the-back talk about his family being alien invaders. Yet his parents felt he should integrate, get a human-based education. Detractors thought he should emigrate and called him an overgrown crustacean. Kachukran spotted the crumpled shape, and then he saw him twitch. It was the unmistakable form of an ape, there, at the base of a ditch. 6 legs made light work of the slope, and he tapped a tentacle on the glass. An eye flickered open and registered hope as Timmy recognised one of his class. In order to save Timmy from certain death, Kachukran used his alien powers. His huge lungs drew a deep breath. It was one that would last him for hours. He unplugged the hose from his own tank and used a spare tentacle to block up the pipe. As the oxygen flowed, Timmy smiled in thanks, forgetting his previous gripe. Chuckland was hailed a hero, became Timmy's newfound best friend. The event opened a window, no more differences to transcend. There was a grok and human alliance, harmony below acid showers. They shared strong bonds with defiance and partied into the small hours. Alienist attitudes were all in the past, as Tombstone 2 settled into a new pattern. But somehow, you know, it couldn't last. And so came the fire-breathing lizards from Saturn. Live long and prosper, Hugh.